Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Invasion Shoot series. We're on YouTube.com, and we are here with a very special guest, Mr. Dan Delicious. Full of charisma tonight. Woo! Thanks for being here.
West Side.
West Side, right. I've known Dan Delicious a long time. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of stuff he did before I met him. I'm curious to learn about it myself. While you're here, go check out some of our other shoot videos. Jerry Reiner, we just did the Mr. Fantasy. All sorts of good stuff. We got some roundtable discussions up there. But right now, we are going to start in with the shoot interview, Dan Delicious. And one of the first questions we like to ask on these things is, how did you get into professional wrestling as a fan?
As a fan?
As a fan.
I was approached by Bob Little and B. Spotty. No.
Moving on.
Right off the bat.
That's one.
I was actually in the Sons of Confederate Veterans. And, well, let's back up a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know what that means.
You lost me already.
I grew up with two older brothers.
Uh-huh.
Love.
Where'd you grow up?
All over.
All over, okay.
I was born in Dothan. My dad's a Southern Baptist preacher, so I moved constantly. Like every 4 years, I moved.
Okay.
You know, repeatedly. So, anyway, my two older brothers.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just lost my train of
That's
thought.
fine.
And we're back!
Two older brothers, always into wrestling.
Uh-huh.
And I got my oldest brother. He wasn't as much into wrestling as my older brother.
Uh-huh.
And we would just sit there every Saturday morning and watch Mid-South Wrestling religiously, all the time. And it just sparked from there.
About how old were you?
Womb.
Oh, so right out of the gate.
Yeah,
So they were
From the beginning.
from the very beginning.
From the very beginning.
Any favorites? Any favorite guys you like?
Just name him Mid-South Wrestling.
Really?
Junkyard Dog.
Yeah, I loved him. He's buried in Mississippi.
Is he?
Yeah, no shit.
Really? Yeah. Cyrus is a huge fan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a Mid-South kid too.
I mean, Mississippi, that's Mid-South territory.
Yeah.
You know, if you live in Mississippi, then you watch Mid-South because that's all you got. You know, can't remember the TV station, but every Saturday morning, Mid-South Wrestling.
Huh.
And that's what I grew up on.
Did you see any of the WWF? I think they were starting to cable at that point. Did you?
Yeah, Saturday Night Main Event, when
Okay.
it came on, you know, when it preempted Saturday Night Live.
Okay. Not a fan of that?
Yeah, I was a big fan of it.
You were?
Yeah, when I got to see it.
Okay.
But you know, that was by the time Saturday Night Main Event came on, Mid-South had kind of petered out, you know, because the big boys took over or
Right.
whatever, you
Vince
know,
stealing
and
everybody's
everybody.
talent.
Yeah, I mean, everybody at Mid-South was at freaking WWF anyway, so I was like, oh, cool.
Did you go to any indie shows?
No, my first wrestling show was on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. It was a WWF show. Hulk Hogan was there, Andre the Giant was there, Ultimate Warrior was there, Rick Martel was there, the Sheep Herders, which, was they called the Sheep Herders?
No, they were the Bushwhackers at
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Well, in Mid-South it was the Sheep Herders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bushwhackers was there. In fact, Rick Rude and the Ultimate Warrior was battling for the Intercontinental Challenge belt.
Right.
And they had a freaking steel cage match for it.
Oh,
I
wow.
was all pumped.
And that was your first live wrestling
I saw-
show?
Very first match.
I think I saw a show on that loop in Pensacola where they had the cage match with Rude, and, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. They, it was great because, I mean, I always saw Andre the Giant on TV and I was like, oh my God, he's big.
Right.
When I saw him in real life, I said, oh my God, he's even
This
freaking bigger.
spectacle.
Oh my God, he was. I mean, I was like halfway up the Coliseum, and nobody was paying attention because he was in some kind of commercial break or something, I guess. And him and Bobby Heenan was there, and Bobby Heenan was like right here, and Andre the Giant was like right here. I was just looking because I just happened to look over there, and I was like, holy freaking cow!
Wow.
It's a big boy.
Yeah, and that's the Carney days of, hey, come look at our freaks.
Yeah.
Did you after that point, did you ever go to an indie show? Did you
No.
know that Did you know that there
My
was
first indie show was the one where I started training at.
Really?
Mm-hmm. My dad actually went to an indie show because he knew a bunch of the wrestlers.
Uh-huh.
A bunch of them went to his church.
Okay.
And he went, he took everybody but me. I don't know why. You know, I was like 5'6", something like that. I guess that might have been the reason why. But he actually got to go behind the scenes and meet everybody. Like, he met the Grappler.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Sunshine. Probably nobody knows who the hell I'm talking about anymore.
Not at all.
Sunshine was in the world class. The
They was married, the Grappler and Sunshine.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Interesting. Did you play sports in school?
Yeah, I played junior high and some high school football until I wanted a little bit more contact.
Okay.
And I quit and went to martial arts.
Oh, what kind of martial arts did you take?
Muay Thai.
Okay.
You name it, I did it.
Really?
Shotokan, the stuff with all the kicking. What is it? Taekwondo.
Taekwondo.
Yeah, I did all that stuff.
Because for a while at PWA, when you were doing the tag thing, you were actually using just kick it to the head as a finish when you weren't using the frog splash.
Yeah, the old super kick.
Yeah, just the bam, like it was almost like the buzzsaw thing that was going on. It looked stiff, and I heard that's because it was.
I heard it felt stiff. From what I heard.
Yeah, I like stuff tight.
Right.
It's snug.
You
Sure.
gave it to me and it was perfect.
Because the form on it, because I used to call those matches, I was like, wow, Dan, the form is there. Because a lot of guys will go out and try to use that form, and
it looks like crap.
And it looks like crap, but you were laying them in, and they looked
Years
good.
and years. I mean, I did all that stuff for 15 years.
Wow. Did not know that. What did Chris Irish call it? Chiffon Kwando?
Chiffon Kwando, I've always loved that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Hey, Chris. I just talked to him today. He loves watching these things.
Really?
Yeah. I told him we were doing yours tonight. He was stoked.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, absolutely. So you were doing the Taekwondo. You liked stuff with contact. You always liked wrestling, which is a physical sport.
Oh, yeah.
At what point did you put two and two together and go, hey, I like that. I like the being physical aspect of it.
No, I've wanted to be a wrestler since I was born.
Okay.
My mom used to tell me my brain was shaped in a wrestling ring. Because that's all I freaking did. That's all I talked about. You know, it's me and my brother would get right after the freaking credits of Mid-South. We'd go get our galoshes on, and or whatever else, take our shirts off, and we'd be the Rock and Roll Express, or we'd defeat the Grappler 1 and Grappler 2, or whoever, and me and him would go at it for the rest of the damn day.
Wow. So backyard wrestler a little bit.
No. No, I was a living room wrestler.
That's very popular. Jerry did the living room
That's
wrestling.
for us guys that have allergies and stuff. And
Right. Well, you guys were competing territories. I didn't know that you guys had heat all the way back to the living room days.
But I mean, even then, we didn't go full contact like
Sure.
a bunch of the freaking backyard wrestlers do.
No, you guys were just playing what you saw on TV.
Yeah,
You weren't smashing
we
each
were
other.
freaking. I mean, I had a beautiful drop kick back then. I don't know what the hell happened to it, but
So take me through the waking up and go, hey, wow, I can do this. I'm going to try it out. How old were you? Where were you?
Since I was in high school, I was searching for somebody that would teach me how to wrestle. And my cousin was in it. He's a big old boy, and he trained with the same guys that my dad went and saw.
Okay.
And I went to him.
Remember his name?
My cousin?
So you went to your cousin, not the guys that trained with you. No, I thought.
Right.
Okay. No, what's your cousin's name for the sake of the story?
Billy.
Billy. Okay. Now we can move on.
Okay.
Is that Billy and Chucky? Oh.
No. I went to him. I said, "Hey, I know you trained in this. Tell me where to go." And he said, "Well, you ain't big enough. You ain't nowhere."
How tall were you at that point?
God, I was in high school. Give me 5 inches shorter, 70 pounds lighter. I was like $110.
Wow.
Maybe. He's like, you gotta be big, and you gotta be, He didn't really say you gotta be tall, but said you gotta be well over 200 pounds to even do this. So I kind of gave up.